What's going on there, guys? Tonight I want to talk a little bit about Lonzo Ball, man, and the injury bug just won't leave this dude alone, man. He was supposed to be a big piece to that rebuild in LA. Once the Pelicans traded away AD, they got Lonzo and Brandon Ingram and a few other pieces, from that trade. But Lonzo and Brandon Ingram was supposed to be two of the pieces that they built around going forward. Lonzo is the perfect facilitating point guard for any team. He has eyes in the back of his head. He can push the ball with tempo. The speed which he pushes the ball is a little reminiscent of how Jason Kidd used to push the ball down the court, man, and find his teammates. Pass first guy whose shot was improving, and he showed flashes in New Orleans, but the injury bug, was right there with him the whole time, man. So he would have a good spell, then he'd get hurt. He'd have a good spell, then he'd get hurt. So eventually there was a trade with him and the Chicago Bulls where I think Saturansky was involved and all that. So when Ball got to the Bulls early this season, they were looking phenomenal, man. Zach LaVine, not this season, last season, but you know what I mean. They were looking good. Zoe was finding them in their spots, man. He was actually knocking down his shots he was getting, playing off of them, and he was having a great year. And boom, he went down, man, again. And he was one of the, as far as pure point guards, he's supposed to be like one of the best pure point guards in the game. In the mold of like Rondo and those guys that all the other four guys love to play with. Not that their games are just alike, but I'm just saying from the standpoint that the four other players on the court know they'll get their adequate amount of touches. He would be one of those point guards that guys would want to play with. So he spoke to the media, and it sounds like, this thing can't be shaken. He's going to have issues for the foreseeable future. He even mentioned doing his day-to-day tasks, it was going to be tough for him to just walk up the stairs. He has no ability to catch himself, slow himself down. He don't have the ability to land properly without feeling an excruciating amount of pain. So, man, the Chicago Bulls, it feels like this thing was over before it started, because I thought last season, not that I thought they were going to win the championship, but I at least thought they would contend a little bit, make some noise in the playoffs. But you never know what the team could have been, because they were rolling with Zoe, man, and he was out, and he spoke to the media briefly. I'm gonna let you hear what he said.
What exactly happens when you try to play basketball, or have you even tried to play basketball?
Yeah, I literally I really can't run, so can't run or jump. So there's a range from 30 to 60 degrees on my knees bent that I have no force, and I can't catch myself. So until I can do those things, I can't play. So I did rehab. It was getting better, but it was not to a point where I can get out there and actually go out there and run at, full speed or jump. So surgery is the next step.
You mentioned, kind of when you're feeling that discomfort. Are you having everyday pain? Is it something that you're feeling, tweaks in your everyday movement, or is it only when you're trying to get in there and kind of ramp up into those basketball moves?
No, it's every day. Even, going upstairs and stuff, it's still painful. So like I said, it's definitely something I've never dealt with. Even the doctors are a little, surprised about it a little bit, but we're all working together to figure this thing out.
Yeah, man. So, hey, man, let's keep Lonzo Ball in our prayers, man. You hate to see a young guy go down early in his career like this, while he still has so much unfulfilled potential, man. You never really got to see what he could do. If he could get healthy, that didn't sound good at all. But if he can get healthy, he can come back and definitely help a team. And while we talking about the Ball brothers, man, I know you all seen LaMelo Ball signed to a non-guaranteed contract. So this doesn't mean he's with the Hornets, but they've reunited him with LaMelo Ball. I know LeVar Ball's going crazy because he predicted this, and that's what it is. But we see this a lot throughout the NBA with brothers. Like Milwaukee has Giannis's brother on the team, and you want to keep those superstars happy in small markets like that, because you don't want them to get away and then those larger market teams come in and swoop them up out of there. So By doing that, I think the Hornets are doing that, trying to get Melo as happy as he can be there. LaMelo also said something interesting in regards to Hornets teammate Miles Bridges. You know, this was his year to get paid. There's no need to rehash what all happened with Miles Bridges. Unless you've been living under a rock, you know what's going on with him. But LaMelo said that he speaks to him often and that he hopes to have him back this season. So, you know, that's been sort of like his best friend since he's been on the Hornets. Miles Bridges, you can see him in IG stories together all the time, hanging out together all the time. And, you know, they kind of brought some showtime to Charlotte. Now, those things that came out about Bridges is going to make that very... I don't want to talk about it too much, so I'll leave that alone, man. Hey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'm bringing you more. Peace.